all the houses in this series, this has been the most difficult to get to. Every time I come here, it's a 2-day trek. Because of all the effort and energy we've spent in trying to cover this project, I'm willing it to turn out well. But something tells me that whatever the weather in this unpredictable place, Mary's house will be a success. I can't believe I picked the most dramatic day of the year to come and visit you in Skye. Yeah. It's terrible weather out there.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's mid-December on your northwest Scotland, so yeah, this is a good storm. It's going to get worse, but this is the point, the storm shutters. And I was in my old house in that big storm, January 2005, and it was horrible actually. You know, I'm quite a robust person, but it was horrible. So every so often you just have to give up on the weather and go inwards, and this is why I've got the storm shutters.
But it does have a very rugged industrial feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's it's cladding as cladding should be. It's not pretending to be anything else. It is corrugated sheet and local timber, but I hope that there's some subtlety to it. Yeah, so the larch will fade. Give it one winter and it will go a browny grey, you know, much like the rocks around here. So.
And then once you step inside, here we are, we've got a beautiful kitchen. How did you actually approach the design here?
I designed the kitchen rather than a kitchen manufacturer, but there are certain, the units work, and then the top and the sides I designed. Yeah.
So you've got Stuart to work some of his magic into the kitchen, and it does add some much needed colour, I think, to the interior, doesn't it?
Definitely. No, working with Stuart was really enjoyable. I mean, he does say he doesn't like designing, he just likes making. And that suits me fine, but he did help me, definitely.
There's lots of clean geometric lines in here,
there?
And that contrasts rather beautifully with these chairs. What's their story?
These chairs were bought by my grandmother, early 50s, I think.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I might be wrong. And they're Basil Spence, actually. They're an architect, Basil Spence.
He's a famous modernist architect, isn't he?
And there he is going curvy.
He did quite brutal, hard concrete buildings, didn't he? And yet these are so beautiful and sinewy and thin and delicate, aren't they? They're wonderful.
Yeah, they are lovely, and the way they taper and their sort of animalistic legs and things. They're like the deer you get around here in a way.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of history. They're well used. They're not just.
They've got a wonderful sense of age about them, haven't they?
They've been put together and taken to pieces, and my grandmother had them in her house. So I love them.
They've lasted remarkably well. This is a soft house that settles down into the landscape. If man has to intervene in nature, it should be like this. Though Mary admires the work of Brian Mackay Lyons in Nova Scotia, I'm not sure such a prominent building would have worked here. Her new house keeps everyone happy. The planner likes the fact that it almost disappears in the long views, and Mary has the view of her beloved mountains that drew her here in the first place. I love this bit of concrete brutalism that you've put up the staircase. Who did this?
Oh, the poles. They're fantastic with concrete.
It's very tough, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of building regs to do with stoves, which I won't bore you with.
Yeah.
But,
so it's functional.
I like it. I like materials to be about what they want to be. I like them to be honest to themselves.
And I like the way you've actually put little niches for all your books everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, that went through a few versions, I must say. But yeah, that's where I just left it.
Adds a bit of colour here and there.
You might see some knickknacks one day on there, who knows?
Eventually.
Yes.
Once you really settle in. That window is stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is beautiful.
I wanted it flush, glazed. so that you just concentrate on the view.
It works really well. There's no glazing bars or architraves or anything around it.
No.
You know what it almost needs? Great big windscreen wiper, going backwards and forwards. Keep that view clear. There's lots of windows in this space. You must have light flooding in all different sorts of ways as the sun passes over.
Yeah, are there enough? I was so anxious that I hadn't got enough in. But there's definitely, that's where the sun rises and it sweeps around the house, and it's in midsummer it sets there. In winter it sets over there. So you become a bit of a, I think I mentioned it before, a tracker of the day.
And what about the colour of these sofas, which are lovely, aren't they? Really, really comfortable.
I gave in to the woman in the sofa shop. She seemed very clear and very nice. But I suppose they're to do with the outside again. So maybe these are heather colours.
So drawing inspiration from heather and gorse and all sorts of things, mossy colours.
That's right. I'm still coming to terms with colour, yes.
There are a lot of really brilliant things that I love about this house.
Yeah.
The fact that the space flows so nicely from the outside into the downstairs area, then up into here, and then you've got the kind of public spaces and the private study areas over there. And you get a sense that this is a piece of architecture that works very much from the outside, and the fact that it's a traditional building and, you know, very familiar to the people that will be kind of living in the area, but also from the inside. It's a real piece of architecture because you've got dramatic spaces and intrigue and drama, but also these wonderful views out.
Yeah. Oh, really,
it's a delicate balance, isn't it?
Well, it's really, I just wanted a place that people enjoy being in this place and can use the outdoors and be indoors. Whether they are, I don't think there's an architectural statement to be made, really, and I think architects should resist from showing off in domestic work, particularly. Possibly if I'd given up kayaking or sailing or hill walking, I would have been a better building. But I can't do that.
A better building. You seem like you're constantly giving yourself a hard time about a building that, for the occasional observer such as myself, seems beautifully detailed and beautifully finished, and you just keep punching yourself up about it. Why is that?
No, I just...
You're a perfectionist.
No, I just know plenty of architects who would have given up all that in order to make every detail sing, but I'm not that architect. I really enjoy life and I really have to get out, as you know.
It's a balance between having a life and having a house, and your house has to reflect your life and your passions.
It's full of compromises here.
Are you pleased with it?
On balance.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose, yeah.
And you're going to enjoy it for many years to come.
Absolutely, and I hope you all come back.
There's another reason why Mary should be pleased with this house. At the start of the project, she told me she wanted to bring it in at £180,000, and she's done just that. Stove and all. Mary has put so much of herself into this house. Like the best architects, she's responded to her surroundings. The Isle of Skye is a place which stirs the emotions, and this site, above all others, deserves a building which fits in. Mary's given her adopted island a house which can trace its roots back to the fishermen's sheds of Scotland and New Scotland, Nova Scotia. In a place which sometimes feels as if it's on the edge of the earth, she's created a dream home and done it against all the odds. Now that's something to celebrate.